Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the DI podcast. I am so excited to talk to our guest today. How about you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Kimberly Flynn. I'm from England, Wales originally, but I now live near Leicester in England.
Awesome. So you've flown a long way, and I've just discovered that you are all over the internet, like posting about DI on Facebook, on LinkedIn. How did you get into DI?
So about 8 years ago, our school was looking for a new intervention that we could use to support our struggling students in a secondary school. And we looked at a neighbouring school. They were using direct instruction, and our SLT really liked it. So they thought we'd trial it and gave me the privilege of giving it a go. We've done it for 8 years. We've never looked back. Our results have been insane, absolutely every single year. And I'm just incredibly proud to be part of it.
Tell me about some of those results, because it's interesting when you talk to schools who perhaps abandoned DI, that they don't seem to collect that data or to care about it as much as that's what we're all about as teachers. So maybe some of those success stories would be awesome for us to hear.
Well, firstly, direct instruction is never going to be effective if it's not implemented correctly. A lot of people are under the misconception that you can just buy it off the shelf and teach it because it's scripted, and there's so much more to it in terms of training to be effective. But when it is used effectively, we've seen reading age improvements of over 6 years in one academic year. We've used it with EAL students and had great success there. We had some twin Thai boys come to our school. One was in a maths lesson with me, one wasn't, and it only came to a parents' evening. And the dad, I was telling him what his son had been doing in DI with me. And he was like, oh, that makes sense. And I was like, what do you mean? And he said, well, the boys were trying to work out a problem a couple of weeks ago. And one of them was really struggling with it, doing it in his native tongue. And the other one was just sat there doing it in English. And I couldn't understand how they approached it so differently. And he said, it makes sense. It's because the one had been receiving direct instruction with us, even though he got very little English when he started. We've also had other students who have no self-confidence whatsoever, but through some of the things that we've taught them in DI, they've gone out, they've spoken to other people in higher levels and said, actually, I know what this acronym stands for. And some of the teachers didn't even know it in school. And that's through the power of direct instruction.
It's awesome. Here in the US, it might be a little more accepted to buy a program, and it could be bad, it could be good, but the programs usually it's not so controversial to have one. It's just the choice of them is a problem. But in England, I hear it's a little bit different. It's a bit more unusual to have such a structured program that gives teachers materials for lesson by lesson. How do you see that evolving, and what are your what's on your wish list for England in that case?
My wish list would be for everybody to use direct instruction, predominantly in primary schools, because then if it is used in primary schools, we don't see the students in the way that we do when they enter year 7. We've already got schools like the Athena Trust and the primary schools there that are doing fantastic things. And if we can replicate that on a larger scale, then the impact for us in secondary school, and more importantly for the students, would be massive.
It's awesome to hear that you're sort of a pioneer in this regard. You come here every year, it seems. Like, what keeps bringing you back? Because you've learned so much. You've taken so much out of these courses.
It's a bit like a family. I know that sounds really cliche, but I feel like in the UK, I spend all year fighting to get people to listen to what DI does for people. So when I come back here, it's almost like I recharge my batteries. I'm back with people that know it works. But also the people that come here every year and train are fantastic. They're absolutely at the top of the game. They know so much that even though I've been back multiple years, I still feel like there's an awful lot I could learn from them. And I've never come to a conference and gone home at the end of the week and thought, do you know what? I didn't learn anything that week. It's a fantastic experience, and I would recommend anybody comes.
So if Kimberly can come all the way from across the pond to Eugene, Oregon, so can you. Kimberly, it's been wonderful getting to know you and hanging out this whole week. And listeners, thank you so much for tuning into this episode.